kid actor, the script supervisor would cut the take if you didn't say the script, the lines in the script, exactly perfectly correct. So it was a very controlled system, and he was an actor who comes prepared, and he always comes to play something. He has an enormous instinct. And so I just love working with him.
Yes.
Can you talk about pretty much discovering and working with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Jamie Lee was a contract player at Universal at the time. She was doing a TV series over there. That's right. Very good. And it was Deborah Hill's idea. Because she was Janet Leigh's daughter, let's bring her in and let's read her. And I wanted somebody else. A lot of people that I wanted for that movie turned me down. And I wanted Christopher Lee or Peter Cushing to play the psychiatrist. They both turned me down. And I wanted another actress, I can't remember her name now, she turned me down. But I read Jamie Lee, she had a real quality to her. She had a real spark. And she really wanted to do it, and I knew she'd work really hard. So off we went.
Yes.
Do you have any entertaining Keith David stories?
Not a one. No, he's a wonderful guy. Wonderful guy. No entertaining stories.
I'll ask a question about They Live. So you have Piper, and you have a fight scene that's in the alleyway, and how much of that was choreographed by Piper? Because there was a lot of wrestling moves in there.
Well, Jeff Amata was the stunt coordinator on that movie. He's a sort of legendary Hollywood stunt coordinator. And he and Roddy and Keith worked for about a month and a half on the fight, on pads in my backyard. And it was a real collaborative effort. Keith was not a fighter. Never fought before. So it's like taking his strengths and his abilities and marrying them with Roddy's, and Jeff adding certain things to it.
What made you choose Roddy Piper?
I thought he was a perfect blue-collar working man. I didn't want a leading man Hollywood guy. I wanted somebody who had life on his face. So I met Roddy, and he was going to work really hard on the movie. I knew that. So that sold me.
Yes.
A lot of times people who are artists, directors, whatever, we always tend to be our own worst critics with what we do. With your movies, is there one that you found yourself that you were most critical about after it was released?
Well, there's been so many of them, man. I never like anything I've done. I can't watch it anymore because I see everything wrong with it. I see everything I did wrong. So why did I shoot it from that angle? What is wrong with me? Why did I do that whole sequence that way? Why did I fuck up so bad? So I realized after a while, I gotta stop looking at these. I gotta stop.
So you don't have a movie that you would like, that you really would look at the most, that I would like to just redo that one like it is?
All of them.
All of them?
All of them.
You don't need this.
It's crazy.
Uh,
Yes.
With all the soundtracks you composed in all your films, which one would you say that you like the most?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Who has not asked the question yet? Yes, for sure.
How did Body Bags come about? Was there a plan to turn that into a series?
There were. It was a Showtime situation. Got a script. They wanted to do it. They obviously wanted a TV series out of it. But they also wanted to, after we did the pilot, what you saw, they wanted to do it in Canada very, very cheaply, which would have just sort of ruined the production value of it. So I said no.
Anyone else that hasn't asked one? Yes.
A lot of books on film talk about rivalry between directors, especially in the 1970s. Are there any directors you felt a professional rivalry with?
All of them. I hate them all. Well, in terms of horror directors, I'm friends with most of these bums. You know, we have a little informal group. We get together for dinner called Masters of Horror. It was started by Mick Garris. We go to restaurants in Los Angeles and sit down and insult each other, tell dirty jokes. And Mick got this idea, let me turn this thing into a TV series. So he sold it to Showtime. So we all did it, but not really. I don't feel a great rivalry. I think that what I do is different from anybody else.
Yes.
Don, you mentioned that you went to USC Film School. What do you think about, especially in the early to late 70s, you had so many directors coming at it. Yourself, Lucas, Coppola, and all that. What do you think, what did they do over there? All of a sudden, brought this collection of great all-time directors almost.
Well, I think it was also the times, because there was I remember reading an article about the fact that there was such a thing as a film school. So for the first time, a lot of us became aware, well, you could actually study. You could go to college for movie directing. Wow, what a great idea. And I don't think that had been in the culture. I don't think people had thought of that before. And SC was known at the time for being the best. If you wanted to be a Hollywood director, in other words, if you wanted to work inside the movie business, UCLA was more of an experimental school, but USC had these ties to Hollywood. And it was an amazing time. We still had, some of my guest lecturers at SC were the masters. Hitchcock, Orson Welles, Howard Hawks, John Ford. They all came down and spoke to us. And what a time that was. And then we had Roman Polanski and Michelangelo, Antonioni, and the newer wave of people coming in. And it was a time of a real change in film and in society. So it was a great place to be. I think it's all changed now. I don't really know. I've been out of touch with it.
Someone from the back, yes.
From where did you get the idea of Michael Myers?
From where?
Right.
Jesus, man, I don't remember. The distributor of that movie said to me, I want to do a movie about babysitters and this killer that stalks them. And I needed a job and I wanted to direct, so I said yes. I invented the Spaceless Guy, and I named him after the British distributor of Assault on Precinct 13, Michael Myers, the sweetest man on earth.
Not after the comedian. Someone else was back on the side, yes, back.
Yes, I'm a huge fan of the Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Also, I apologize if I, you know, the video game question as well. I'm a huge fan of the solid films as well. I was wondering, have you spoken in regards to, Hideo Kojima in regards to State's character from Escape from New York, and have you had that potential in regards to like the Furukawa's character and before like thinking in regards to the experts in the character?
I'm sorry, I'm missing some of your question.
I think it was, you're asking about the video game, is that what you're asking about?
Yes.
All right, so about the Snake Plissken character in the video game.
What video? There's a video game? Wow.
Is that, I'm trying to hear it.
I didn't even know about it.
Wait, are you?
Do you know about the video game?
Yes.
Who's making it, and will they pay me money and when? I don't know anything about it, man. I really don't. Okay.
Not you, go ahead.
Another escape question. Judging from how you answered Escape from LA, which is right on the money, I love that movie. Do you have any passion or any commitment to maybe do an Escape from Cleveland and bring everything back?
Well, you know what? Right now, a very big-time producer is trying to remake Escape from New York. And they had a script, and the main character, the Snake character, is completely different. Completely different. Now, not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just different. And they're going to want a young guy, you know. They're going to want some young, hot guy. And get a hot, young director. And listen, if you're going to get fucked, get paid for it. first of all. And second of all, the studio wouldn't let me. I was unproven at the time.
I'm trying to bounce back and forth. Well, how about this guy here? Yes. Yep.
Any upcoming projects you can talk about?
Well, I've got a lot of projects I'm working on. I'm kind of a gothic western, a comic book deal, but nothing firm at this point.
On this side, trying to get people out of that. Yes.
What was it like working on the ward?
It was fun. Hey, you got these beautiful Hollywood babes in a metal ward, and they all do a shower scene together. Come on, man. It's fabulous. They were all extremely talented. I love working with them. I love working with Jared Harris. It was a great experience. I had a real good time.
Yes, right there. Yes.
Did you catch any of the 80s Italian horror while that was going on, and what did you think of it at the time, or retrospectively?
80s Italian horror, like who do you mean?
Like if Fulci or Argento.
Well, I'm a big fan of Dario Argento. Huge fan. Also a very close friend of mine. I've seen every one of his films. I didn't pay so much attention to the others. Because I thought, of all of the Italian horror directors, I thought he's pretty unique. It's a unique point of view. And still does, and is still a very close friend.
Thanks.
On this side. Yes.
How did you come up the nickname for Michael Myers for the stage?
The nickname?
The stage.
Oh. That's a good question. I don't remember exactly. I'm trying to make it, try not to be specific, trying to indicate in the reading of it what the movie was going to be like to watch, that you wouldn't see him clearly. He was just a shape that moved through the frame. He was a shape that stepped in the frame. He was in the background in the darkness. That's why I came up with it.
So, yes.
What's the likelihood of there being a 30th anniversary edition of the thing for next year? If you have already been approached for it, what are some ideas you're going to have for it?
Man, they never approached me on that stuff. Ever. I'm not kidding. The only time I get asked by studios of movies I've made is when they're going to go to television. And they're going to censor them, cut them. Do I want to be involved in that? And I would say, no, I don't. I don't want to see you do that to my baby. I don't know what they're going to do. If you find out, let me know.
Well, I mean, is it true that maybe it's kind of dependent on how the prequel's going to do in theaters, or is that going to have something to do with it, maybe?
I don't know. How would I know? They don't tell me anything. You got to realize, nobody ever tells me anything. I always find out later. It's really bizarre. That's the story of my life. No one tells me anything.
There's apparently a video game you made. Word has it.
We made a video game of the thing, though. They made one, and I was a character in it. But I died.
Yes. The blue guy.
So you've been a successful businessman in Hollywood too. So did you have early mentors that you worked with from a business standpoint, or did that just come along the way?
Man, I wish I had. But I had some great representation, and I had some great lawyers that I had over the years. But I knew nothing about business. I still know very little. I just was really lucky. Really lucky.
Do you really think that's what it was, just being in the right place at the right time?
Hell yes. The most talented people in my film school, in my class in film school, never got a chance. Never got a chance. I've seen incredibly talented people left by the wayside. I've seen bums get hired too, because they're lucky. So you have to look past that, and you have to keep going. You have to have such perseverance